Man, what is going on, man? Let's talk about this, man. Make sure y'all smack that like button, smack that subscribe button. D Wade should have been booed, man. And I'm not saying this out of hate. I'm not saying this out of the fact that I don't appreciate the game that D Wade brought to the NBA. Because D Wade was definitely one of the GOATs, man. One of the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest guards to ever lace him up, man, for real. And while I was growing up, man, D Wade was one of my favorite players. Straight up. I would have chose D Wade over D Rose, Steve Nash, anybody, any guard you could name, man. D Wade was my guy. I had a few of his jerseys, had his posters. I mean, this was a man. You know what I'm saying? And now I look at him. He get to the ceremony. He got his nails painted. He walking real feminine. I mean, it's like he done turned into a fun boy. And this is no shot at homosexuals. I understand that this is a thing that's going on now, you know. But I also understand that it's unnatural, and I think eventually it's gonna be something that we come back out of, and we stop promoting it and showing so much love to homosexuality. Cause the thing that gets me, I don't want nobody to be talking about they gonna cancel me and all that shit. Cause I'm not spitting on homosexuals, but this is what I want to try to understand. Cause I can't seem to understand this in this country of America. Now, is this not a Christian nation? Do y'all not believe in God? Do y'all not go to church every Sunday? Do y'all not read the Bible? Do y'all not follow Jesus heavily in this country? If you look up this country, if you look up the religion in this country, over 74% of the population in this country is Christian. Everybody else pretty much Muslim, Catholic, whatever, you know. But most of those religions are pretty much one and the same, because all y'all praise Moses and the Ten Commandments, and the Bible is the oldest and most sacred book according to Americans, especially American Christians. So I'm trying to figure out, how can a person like Dwayne Wade, who allowed his little son at 7, 8 years old, 6 years old, whatever, to turn into a woman who paints his nails, dresses very feminine, and has had allegations of, you know, dealing with men and all this type of stuff. And I'm trying to figure out, how can a person like D Wade, who has done all this and is doing all this, who, like I said, whose son is a supposed transgender, how is he able to stand up in a stadium full of thousands of Christians and be applauded? This is why I've always had a thing about Christianity, because to me, Christianity is just hypocrisy, man. You're all hypocrites. If you was a Christian in that building at that Miami ceremony, if you went to that game and you just cheered D Wade on because you just love D Wade, the same way I just expressed my love for his game and what he brought to the NBA. If you just look past all the fuck shit he doing and just focus on that, then you sick in the mind too. And there's a lot of Christians out here who are sick in the mind. Because D Wade's sick in the mind. Just tell you right now, anybody who allows their 8-year-old boy to turn into a woman, to me, that's just showing two things. Either D Wade wants to be a woman, and he's living through his son, he expressing it through his son, or D Wade and them done did something to that little boy. Something happened to that little boy. Cause ain't no way you just up and jump one day, oh, I want to be a girl. Something happened to that boy, or D Wade and them was doing something around that boy. You don't know what's going on in that man's household. And it's crazy that these celebrities and people with so-called status and little money, they can get away with this shit because they know y'all gonna clap for them. They know y'all still gonna root for them. They know y'all still naive to what all the shit they do. Because when D Wade go home and close that door, if he painting his nails and his son is a woman, all this shit going on, just imagine what's going on in that man's house. Just imagine. I'm not throwing no shade or nothing. You got to really think about this, because like I just said, this nation is supposed to be Christians. Y'all are supposed to be Christians. Ain't no man supposed to be painting his nails. Ain't no woman supposed to be turned into a man. Ain't no man supposed to be turned into a woman. It say all this in the book that y'all supposedly follow. So basically, if you stand up and applaud these type of men, I don't give a fuck what color they is, then you basically burning the Bible up. So you can't claim that this country is a country full of Christians and God-fearing people. Nah. Y'all applaud a grown man allowing his son to turn into a woman and then show up in a stadium full of thousands of people with his nails painted. Y'all allow this shit. Y'all allow it. And for all my gay pastors out there, gay church members, gay drummers, gay pianists, gay members, if you are homosexual and you go to church, look at the hypocrisy in that. And the only reason that people accept it is because people want to be nice. They don't want to say nothing mean. They don't want to be rude. Until we get to the sporting event and it's a transgender out there playing basketball against your daughters. But he really a boy. And he go out there and score 50 points on them. And y'all just can't seem to beat this team. I seen a high school crown a trans. Peep this, man. This is how sick this country getting. Transgender as homecoming queen. That is sick, man. What type of image? What type of role models are we expecting to come out of this? Now y'all know good and hell well the government wants to depopulate a little bit. They want to get the numbers down to a point where they can control everybody. This shit all about power and control. That's what all this allowing homosexuality and all this shit root from. They got a whole plot and plan to kind of shrink down the population a little bit. Because making people homosexual, what they do? They cut off reproduction. Man and man, they ain't gonna make no baby. Woman and woman, they ain't gonna make no baby. So if you make a population of gays, y'all gotta understand a lot of empires back in the day fell off because of this shit. And they know this. A lot of generations and bloodlines will die off if they become homosexuals. So when you got a person like D Wade, who is an entertainer, who is under contract, probably ain't no telling who's in his corner, who behind closed doors that he worked with. And I bet you he worked with some white folks and real close with some white folks. Because this is, no matter what people might think, I really want y'all to understand this. Homosexuality is a European culture. That's not in black people culture nowhere. I've heard people try to debate it and say it was going on with the American Indians and stuff like that. But there's no trace or sign or books or none of that like that. You're not going to see homosexuality being heavily promoted in no black nation back in the day. We don't promote that shit at all. We promote polygamy before we promote homosexuality. If you go over in them African countries right now, they will kick your ass if you come over there talking about you gay and you a man painting your nails and shit. They would have booed D Wade in Africa. And it's not out of disrespect. It's because we don't play that shit in our country. As men, as soldiers, as gods of this planet, we don't want to be belittled like that. I don't want to take my masculinity, what God gave me from the root, what I got out my mama's womb, and change that to a woman. Hell no, I'm naturally a man. So I'm a be a man and stay in my natural state. You want to turn into a woman? Obviously, that just means you a pussy. You a real bad pussy. You scary. You ain't got no nuts about yourself, no backbone, nothing. You a real life pussy. So you just turn into a pussy. And there's a lot of women who I guess turn into men for whatever reason. They done been through bad relationships, but most of them been molested or something. They've been touched. Something didn't happen to them. Socially, physically, mentally, within their family, within their household. So as American people in this country who supposedly are Christians, we're going to have to start setting a standard at some point. These things that's happening in our country are happening for reasons. They not just because people want to do it. This shit is for a reason. They promote and put this shit on in our face for a reason. They want more and more kids, especially black kids, to indulge in this fucked up ass mentality. And yes, homosexuality was deemed a mental illness up into the 60s and 70s. I think up into the 80s. They just took that shit out as a mental disorder. Cause something is really mentally fucked up with you if you're a man and you want to be a woman. And if you're a woman and you want to be a man, I'm sorry. Something is wrong with you. And then to call yourself a Christian or to call yourself a believer in God, but in the book of God, supposedly, it's an abomination. You ain't supposed to do it. And this is why I don't believe in Christianity, because if that Christian God is omnipresent, if he's the controller of all, which that book say that he is all over the place. He controls the end and the beginning and the end. So if he controls all this and what's going on, then that means that the Christian God, even though he said being homosexual is an abomination, that means the Christian God allows homosexuality. That means God wants D-Wade to let his son, be a woman. God wants to let that transgender win homecoming queen. God wants the transgender woman to race against the real women and beat the shit out of them. God wants the transgender man, a man who turned into a woman. God allows that woman man to go compete against women and kick their ass. So, like I said, if you're a Christian, this is the lifestyle that you portraying. But at the same time, you will clap and root for these type of people. So you're a hypocrite. Straight up. Damn near 100% of America. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say about 98% of Americans. There's very few of us that ain't hypocrites. Because a lot of y'all Christians, this is what get me about this shit. A lot of y'all Christians accept demon shit. Y'all accept devil shit as if y'all can't do nothing about it. Y'all sin and do all this dirt shit as if y'all got a scapegoat. Oh, Jesus died for our sins anyway, so it's all right. Everybody ain't perfect. Hell no. I ain't met too many Christians who live by that book to a T. And that ain't saying you got to be perfect. Because at the end of the day, everything come down to your choice, what you choose to do. Ain't nobody puppeteering you. All these things are choices you make. So if you wake up one morning and say, "Oh, I want to be a woman," that's a choice you made. Didn't nothing in the sky, nothing pop in your head and tell you you made that choice. So at the same time, you making that choice while you still a Christian shows you the contradiction in your belief right there. You should just drop your religion completely. Because D-Wade, even though he's being honored, so to speak, getting a statue. I mean, peep it. They giving this man a statue, hung his jersey up. I mean, they just honored. The crowd went crazy, showing his trophies. They just honored this man who allowed his son to be a woman. But we in a Christian nation. See what I'm saying? So everybody in that stadium, everybody who clapped their hands on TV, because I would have booed D-Wade. Everything that everybody learned at church on Sunday and all that shit out the window when you care about these celebrities. That just showed me that a lot of y'all are hypocrites. This Christianity shit is fake. This shit is flawed. That's why so many fake people in this country. That's why you got so many fake friends and fake family members, because all of them Christians. All y'all hypocrites. Y'all will sit up and say one thing and do another. And then when y'all do another, y'all be like, "Oh, that's the devil." No. That's your ass. That's your ass. So we need to set a standard. We need to set the standard in this country. We need to stop accepting all this bullshit. Like I honestly think if D-Wade would have went up there in lingerie with a wig on, with a thong on, with a BBL and some high heels, America would have still cheered. They would have still clapped and, "Yeah, we love you." Because y'all are some sick fucks. America has trained everybody to accept the devilish mentality of being a sick fuck. Look at all of the movies and the music and shit, all the shit we see every day. We accept this sick ass shit. Straight up. And whole time, it's a European culture. That's why the shit looks so whack to me. Because I'm black to the heart. I'm American to the heart. You can't tell me shit about nothing I'm doing. I'm proud to be who I am. I love who I am. I would never try to be a woman. I would never allow my son to think like that. I'm going to raise him to be a man. I'm going to raise my daughter to be a woman. And some of y'all dumbasses will be like, oh, what if your son can... My daughter ain't finna do this shit, because it's about how you raise them. Ain't nobody touching on my kids. My kids ain't seeing no freaky ass shit all the time. Ain't no bullshit going on with my kids. A lot of y'all homosexuals have been molested. Something happened to y'all mentally, physically. Verbal abuse, parents abusing you, uncle abusing you, sister, and I send my heart to you. Straight up. I send my heart to this community, because I know this shit is traumatizing. And then to try to walk around everyday life and try to be accepted and not knowing who gonna accept you and who not, I'm pretty sure this shit is traumatizing. But at the same time, y'all have to understand that the lifestyle that y'all are leading is a devilish lifestyle. Now let's clear this up. There's no such thing as a devil. But the concept of a devilish lifestyle is everything that equates to negative frequencies, negative energy, a negative health, unhealthy life. Like I told y'all before, when it comes to right and wrong, it's all about your health. Anything that affects your health is wrong. Anything that improves your health is right. And that can go with anything. Music, food, movies, clothes, anything. Because if y'all don't know, we are electric beings. Everything that we do and use is going to have some type of connection with us. That's why you got people that got their favorite pair of shorts, their favorite pair of shoes, their favorite hat, everything is so everything that we have and harness to us is gonna be some type of way connected to us. So you have to understand that if you want to promote this lifestyle and promote and do that, a lot of shit gonna stick around this country that don't need to be around. And homosexuality is being made popular for whatever reason. And it's sticking around. And I can't wait till this shit really crumble. I can't wait till we go back to the day where homosexuality is a secret at your home, at your house. You don't bring that shit out in public. If you a man and you like to dress up like a woman, leave that at home. Don't come out in public and show that to the world. The imagery of that is not something that our men of this country need to see. Straight up. Because every man naturally, 90%, 95% of men, 99.9% of men naturally gonna see something wrong with that. Straight up. But if you teach them that it ain't nothing wrong with it, some of them gonna think they can do it. They gonna indulge in it. And that's what's been going on. Until they wake up one day and realize, hey, this ain't it. This ain't me. Because I'm pretty sure that shit is in the book as an abomination for a reason. For a goddamn reason. And that reason is because homosexuality is unnatural. Homosexuality is unhealthy. Do y'all understand when a man goes into another man's rectum that you busting your third eye, you busting your pineal gland, you open your spinal cord up, so there's no type of masculinity damn near in you no more. You just been butted out. And when women indulge in homosexuality, they can't procreate. Even though you think, oh, I'm gonna go to the sperm bank, you still having sex with a man. You still putting sperm from a man in you. Ain't no sperm coming from no woman. So you cannot procreate. You're not gonna get that balance in your relationship with a woman. Even though you might think you will because y'all conversation good, it's not gonna be balanced. And domestic fights between two women in a relationship is way worse. Way worse. Straight up. A lot of women be getting their ass beat the fuck every day by a woman. Don't act like this shit don't go on. Don't act like it's just men beating. No. It's a lot of domestics between women on women. Man on man too. So this shit, even though people are happy, that shit is not right. And that shit is not perfect. People be happy for the moment. But when them doors close, them people got a lot of trauma going on inside of their head. They need help, not support. D-Wade need help, not support. Straight up. Y'all gotta stop supporting this demon shit. On the other hand, say it ain't so, man. Say it ain't so. Shiloh, Shedeur, they go out to Paris and miss the first team meeting. For some reason, it just don't sit right with me. Like when I first seen the report, I was like, nah, man. So then I had to go watch the Reach the People media and little videos and shit, try to kind of catch up with it. Because I ain't watched them in a while, but I had to catch up a little bit and I seen that they wasn't there. But Coach Prime was happy. Because the reason why it didn't sit well with me, because all I could think about was the Stanford game. Y'all not focused. Y'all went 4-8 last year. You supposed to have a bounce back season this year. They got Shedeur on the Heisman list. They got Colorado expecting to win the Big 12. They got Colorado expecting to make the playoff. How in the hell on your first meeting of the season, y'all in Paris on the runway being models? Y'all couldn't catch the next fashion show? Y'all couldn't catch the next promo in a couple weeks or something? How could Coach Prime allow his boys to go to a meeting when on the other hand he tell the whole other team that they can't be late for a meeting? They can't miss no meetings. They can't spit on the field. They can't even sneeze on the field, or it's gonna be their ass. But you allow your sons to go to Paris during the team meeting for a runway shoot, for a model run. Now, this is a big bag chasing moment for the Shedeur guys, because they also said that they want to be bigger than football, which is good, and I respect that about them, because football is not your whole life. Football is gonna be there for a little time. Then you're gonna have to get involved in other things. You're gonna have to turn yourself into an entrepreneur, and that's what they doing. So I salute them for that. I don't see nothing wrong with what they did. I just see something wrong with how they did it and how they just missed this goddamn first team meeting. Because ain't nothing wrong with going to Paris and getting y'all money and trying to stretch out into different avenues, because the Sanders boys gonna be famous for a long time. They got the charisma, they got the stat. I mean, they got it. All they gotta do is just keep it together. But at the same time, this is showing me a lack of focus from Coach Prime and these guys. Because how are y'all not at this meeting? And it's the first team meeting. How your starting quarterback ain't there? And I'm trying to figure out, is Shiloh playing again? How the hell he got another year eligibility? What strings they done pulled? But I mean, that's what's up. Shit, if you in there, but I thought Shiloh was done. I thought he already played his grad year. But anyway, I just don't think that they should have missed this meet. I think they should have been there. I think they should have caught the next little fashion show or something. Because not showing up to this meeting is saying a lot about the issue that I had with them last year. I think we finna have the same issue. This favoritism shit. Because this shows a lot of favoritism right here. You gonna set a certain standard for your team, but you don't hold that same standard to your boys. That's just favoritism. And the reason Coach Prime feel like he can do this shit, because y'all ride his nuts so much. Y'all ride his nuts so much. A lot of fans, I'm going to say fanatics, because I'm a fan. I'm not a fanatic. Fanatics, they don't see nothing wrong Prime doing. Straight up. Coach Prime could allow Shedeur to miss every meeting all the way up until the spring game. As long as he show up at the spring game, the fans and people still gonna be, yeah, Coach Prime, the best coach. Cause y'all fanatics. Y'all don't see nothing wrong he doing. But if this was any other coach in the country, if this was any other player in the country, just imagine if this was goddamn Dart down at Ole Miss. Him and one of the cornerbacks, they went over to Paris when Ole Miss had their first team meeting. Just imagine if it was Florida State quarterback or Jalen Milroe down at Alabama. He had a fashion show when Alabama had their first team meeting. Just think about that. Think about how people would have been on their head. Them coaches wouldn't allow that shit. I don't think it's a coach in the country that will allow they starting quarterback and they starting safety, starters now, the stars now. I don't think it's a coach in the country that would allow them to miss a team meeting purposely for a fashion show. Straight up, I'm sorry. So with that being said, man, I think that Coach Prime is already showing me a lack of focus. He's not focused, man. He's not focused on Colorado football. Coach Prime focused on his boys, getting them more endorsements, getting them more money, more revenue, more NIL. And that's good as a father. That's what you want to do. But on the flip, Coach Prime, you should have just came in and been a defensive coordinator or something. Because, bro, you the head coach. Everything's going to fall on you. This is part of your legacy. This is part of your legacy, bro. This is part of the job you're supposed to be up there doing. This is part of every young brother that's coming up playing football in the 10th, 11th grade right now that see you coaching. They looking up to you right now. They looking to see how long you going to be there, how many games y'all going to win. Are y'all going to be able to win a championship? Are you going to be able to coach them into a conference championship? Are y'all going to win a bowl game? These young players coming up, these fans too, we watching to see what y'all, we ready to see what y'all going to do. But on the flip side, you showing us a lack of focus already. You already showing us what's more important to you. And I really feel like I said, when I seen this shit, all I could think about was that Stanford game. Because the Stanford game, they was up 29-0 at halftime. And then at halftime, Shedeur go in the locker room and start advertising his merchandise and shit. And then they go out there and get their ass whooped on the whole second half. Showed a lack of focus. And even Coach Prime said they lost focus. So, damn, you showing it again. So I really, 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 truly hope that this don't backfire on them. Because if Colorado come out and have a bum season again, people gonna bring this shit up. People gonna bring this shit up. And since the Sanders boys, they'll move on past football. And nobody's gonna give a damn. They gonna move on because they Sanders boys. But what about these fans? What about these other guys coming up that want to play for Coach Prime? What about the legacy of coaching Coach Prime about to leave? I don't think he give a fuck about none of that shit. Or none of y'all new recruits. He don't give a fuck about that. We clearly can see what Coach Prime is focused on. Straight up. PSA. I would have booed D-Wade. I would have booed the shit out of D-Wade. And Shedeur and Shiloh, man, y'all should have never missed that meeting, man. Y'all should have caught the next fashion show, man. What the fuck going on, man? PSA, man. Stop the bullshit.